Now, the Russia hoax was so much more than just a political smear campaign. Former CIA Director John Brennan and ex-FBI Director James Comey are reportedly now under active criminal investigation by the FBI for alleged misconduct tied to the Trump-Russia probe and much more. The investigation stemming from accusations that Brennan made false statements to Congress and pushed the inclusion of Hillary Clinton's bought and paid for, discredited, debunked, dirty Russian disinformation dossier, and of course Comey's role in using the Russia hoax and the dossier to obtain secret FISA warrants. He signed 3 of the 4 of them over a 9-month period of time and spy on Trump's campaign. Interestingly, Comey did say years later, knowing what I know now, I would not have signed it. But he knew then, or did he not? Comey even admitted back in 2019 that there was, quote, real sloppiness with the Bureau's effort to obtain these warrants, but has never, ever been held accountable. Here with reaction, author of the upcoming book, Color of Death. Well, this sounds dark. And host of Sunday Night in America, the one and only Trey Gowdy is with us. Never lost a case as a prosecutor in his life. True or false, sir?
I can't remember. I've gotten old, Sean. I know I had great cops and great victims and good juries.
I don't think, but you didn't lose a case, did you? You can bring, I'm bragging for you. You can be humble.
I'd have to think back. I had some really good cops, really good. Speaking of good cops, Kash Patel, this matter could not be in better hands. Although I think it's important, Sean, and you do this as well as anyone, keep people's expectations realistic. We do have statute of limitations issues here, but we also have to remember the only way to hold people accountable is not in court. You can hold them accountable through history and the court of public opinion. We should still have this concept called shame. So even if Kash and DOJ cannot find a prosecutable, look, we know John Brennan lied to Congress because you're talking to the guy he lied to, but the statute has run. So we have to be more creative. We have to expand our definition of accountability to include the court of history and public opinion and shaming people who did not meet our expectations.
But, you know, it's interesting because our own Greg Jarrett believes that if it's all part of a grand conspiracy, that the statute of limitations legally may not apply. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if he's talking about a 374 conspiracy, you can use the last incident to kind of trigger the statute of limitations, so it does buy you more time. President Obama, I think you can forget about because of the immunity ruling. So you got Clapper, you got Comey. Look, we were interviewing Comey. We took his deposition after Trump kicked him out of office. So you can go back and look at that deposition. There's certain ways to expand the statute. But I don't want your listeners, your viewers, you got millions of them, Sean, and you know that. You have for 2 decades. I want them to not feel let down if Kash and DOJ cannot get a prosecution.
I agree with
John
that.
Durham did not get one.
You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. And I'm not even talking necessarily. I want the American people to know the truth, but I do want people held accountable. Otherwise, I think it can happen again. You referenced, and Jim Jordan earlier in the week referenced your interview, for example, with Brennan. Did you also interview Comey? And what did you find out in the interview?
That they were covering for themselves and that they had a preference on who won a presidential election. Pretty much the antithesis of what you would want in intelligence or law enforcement. And so, as you know, Sean, one of my closest friends in the world is the current CIA director. I can promise you, John Lee Ratcliffe would never, ever put his finger on a scale and try to tip an intelligence report to a president the way that Brennan did. I can promise you that Kash Patel is not going to be signing FISA applications that include the work product of the DNC or the RNC. So we got to have better people. You use the term deep state. What I'm happy about now, Sean, is it's not that deep anymore. We know exactly who they are.
Yeah. I hope you're right. I hope we get to the bottom of it. I hope the American people understand. If you want to talk about a threat to democracy, this is it. or a threat to our democratic republic, or, you know, we're looking at it right now. This is putting cinder blocks on the scales of election and trying to undermine a duly elected president. Trey Gowdy will be watching this weekend.
It is more anti-democratic than any, yes, sir, more anti-democratic than anything they've ever accused Republicans of doing. And a tip of the hat to you, Sean. You were covering it the right way back in real time when it was happening.
3 years of my life covering this, and we had a great ensemble cast, and you were a part of it. We appreciate it. Trey Gowdy, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.